Hi, it's Billy Eccles-Richter from Grace Avenue United Methodist Church. September has arrived, and so I want to give you an update on the exciting things that are happening in our ministry here at Grace Avenue. The first thing I want to talk to you about is an in-person communion experience that will be held this Sunday, September the 6th at 8:30 a.m. It will be held outside in an area that is on the southwest corner of our property. It will be shaded that morning and hopefully everything will be dry. Here's what we need you to do if you're going to come and be a part of the in-person Holy Communion experience this Sunday. The first thing is that we need you to wear a face covering, very important while you're with us. The second thing is that we want you to bring your own seating, whether that's a blanket to sit on the ground or whether that's some kind of lawn chair or outdoor chair. Bring that with you as well. Third, we encourage you to bring your own communion elements, but if you don't bring your own communion elements, what I want to tell you is that we will provide prepackaged communion elements for you. And then finally, we just ask that when you come this Sunday, you practice social distancing. We'll be together, we'll do the liturgy of communion, we'll share in the sacrament of Holy Communion, and it should be an amazing time. If you need more information, please go to our website. We hope that you will join us on Sunday morning at 8:30 for this outdoor Holy Communion experience. But if you can't make it with us at that time, then we want you to know that we'll have an online Holy Communion experience at 8 p.m. that night. We look forward to being with you. The second thing I want you to know is to talk about a message series that we're going to be doing in the month of September. You know, all of us have favorite prayers. Most of us know the Lord's Prayer, Our Father, who art in heaven. Many of us know the prayer of St. Francis, Lord, make me an instrument of your peace. But I bet many of you also know this prayer. God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. That beautiful prayer, which is often called the Serenity Prayer, was written all the way back in the 1930s by a pastor by the name of Reinhold Niebuhr. The reality of that prayer, though, is that it's not simply about serenity. It starts with serenity and asking God for that for sure, but it also talks about courage and it talks about wisdom. And so the last 3 weeks of September, we're going to enter into a new message series called God Grant Me. And we're going to look at these three aspects of what it is to ask God to grant us serenity, to grant us courage, and to grant us wisdom. I hope you'll plan on joining us online during the last 3 weeks of September as we go to this wonderful new message series called God Grant Me. Now, I know many of you are continuing to ask the question, when will our building be open for in-person experiences like worship? And I can't give you an exact timetable on that today, but what I do want to do just for a moment is to give you some of our thinking behind how we are making those decisions about being able to open the building for in-person experiences like worship, hopefully in the near future. What I need to be able to say to you is that we are still trying to make sure that everyone is safe. We are wanting to make sure that everyone can be healthy and that we can maintain something that will be a really quality experience when people do come to be a part of this. And what I want to tell you is that as we are making this decision, the barometer that we are using to make this decision is really our local schools. We know that many of our local schools have already gone back in person, and this week our Frisco schools will be going back for those who have chosen in-person learning. We want to watch for 2 or 3 weeks exactly what happens with this pattern of people going back to school in person. And then hopefully, if things go well and safe with that, we can begin to do the same at the church. I know many of you are saying to yourself, well, other churches are doing this and other churches are doing that. What we have discovered is that what other churches are doing is all over the place right now, and not every church is the same context as ours. So, at this point in time, our main barometer for making that decision is not what other churches are doing. It is what our local schools are doing, and we promise you that we're going to be watching that very closely and hope to be back in person very, very soon. Next, I want to talk to you about waves of grace, because we have in the last week had a horrible storm that has come through our region. Hurricane Laura left many people devastated down on the Gulf Coast, particularly in southwest Louisiana and southeast Texas. And I don't know if you realize it or not, but I just found out that there are over 2,200 evacuees from Hurricane Laura that have come to Frisco. Now, because we can't open shelters because of COVID-19, most of these people are staying in a variety of different hotels, and in the midst of that, they still have needs. Our missions minister, Mary Martin, has done a wonderful job of attempting to understand what those needs are. And here's what I'm going to tell you that we need immediately to help these evacuees who fled from Hurricane Laura. The first thing is they need our prayers. Pray for those who have been displaced from their homes and who may not be able to go back to their homes ever, or may not be able to go back to electricity or running water for many, many weeks. The second thing is we need Walmart gift cards. Walmart gift cards. Now that may sound a bit strange, but it meets a couple of needs. Some of the supplies that they need that are basic necessities in life, or gasoline that could be bought at Walmart. So if you're out and about, get a Walmart gift card, and what we want you to do is then turn it into the church. You can put it in the donation box, or you can also just get it to Mary Martin, our missions minister, or to Laura Eccles Richter, and we'll be thrilled that we'll be able to help out in that way. Now, I know many of you are saying, well, what about flood buckets? Obviously, the flooding was terrible. Here's what we found out through UMCOR, the United Methodist Committee on Relief. You may remember that in the last couple of years, we have provided flood buckets, and right now their warehouse is full. They're going to begin to distribute flood buckets that you made quite a while back. And the reality of it is then as their warehouses begin to go down, the one in Conroe and the one that is in South Louisiana, as they begin to be depleted, we will once again, probably later this fall, begin to make flood buckets to replenish the warehouses for UMCOR. Thank you so much for all you do to care about people when they are in this time of need. Indeed, in the midst of the waves of the storm, we as Grace Avenue want to produce and offer waves of grace. The final thing I want to say to you in the midst of this time is that we are going to create some office accessibility hours. I know it's been very strange that the church office has been closed, and a lot of you have been confused at times about how you can get in touch with different staff members. So starting on Tuesday, September the 8th, we're going to have office accessibility hours from Monday through Thursday from 9 o'clock in the morning to 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Different staff people will be in the office. Now, the office will not just be wide open so that you can come and just walk in. But if you are willing to make an appointment, there will be different staff members that will be available, and we will publish so that you will know that. The second thing is that any time that you call between 9 a.m. and 3 p.m., Monday through Thursday, there will be a live person that answers the phone. And I think that will be important for several of you as well. The other thing is that you can then also make appointments to meet some of our staff people in person inside the building. We will be socially distanced. We'll meet you in a classroom. We'll be able to stay 6, 12 feet apart, and we'll be able to have some in-person meetings as well. We just know that this is an important next step in terms of how we begin to open things back up. And we hope that these office accessibility hours will be helpful to you. You've been so good to listen to all of what I've had to offer to you. There's just a lot going on right now, and we continue to be in prayer for all those who are suffering in the pandemic, and all those who have suffered from the storms, and all those who are continuing to just deal with all of the various tension that is taking place in our world. Let's be instruments of peace right now. I invite you to find all of this information, of course, on our website. graceavenue.org is where you can find information, or don't hesitate to email us or text us and let us know how you're doing and what questions you may have. You are a wonderful congregation, and it is such a privilege to be in ministry with you. We look forward to a great September. God bless you.